can we believe? Oh, Canada, we've got no place to sleep.
We've been trying to push the federal government to get back into housing. It's their responsibility. They're the only G8 country not to have a housing strategy. Since 1993, they haven't been provided any social housing. It's time for them to step in. The people see around the world now the shamefulness of Canada being able to spend as much money as we spend on these games and not solve our homelessness problem.
The Red Tent campaign is aimed at bringing forth awareness around the lack of housing. In France, in 2006, they gave away 200 tents to homeless people around Paris. And just the fact of making homelessness so visible catalyzed government action. So our hope for the Red Tents, and it just began at the beginning of these Olympics, is to see the Red Tents start here and to move across the country. A call for government to act. It's not a problem that we can ignore anymore, homelessness.
There was kind of a unilateral decision by the federal government in the 1990s to download responsibility for housing onto the provinces and municipalities. And so we think that's a trend that needs to be completely reversed. I think the federal government needs to assume jurisdiction over homelessness in Canada and create a national housing strategy.
What do we want? Homes! When do we want them? Now! We need affordable housing, and the only way that we're going to do it is to get big dollars from the federal government. Yes! The net worth of Canadian households is now $3 trillion. So the federal government and the provincial governments, they have their budgets coming up, and they're going to tell us that, oh, you know, we have to, in order to stay out of debt, we're going to have to cut back on our services. But that's wrong. Instead, we need to tax the rich and tax the corporations in Canada. They can afford it.
The Olympics are supposedly, in the words of Michel Jean, about discovering that we belong to one family and we're all part of that family. And if we have the heart and the generosity that makes us respond to people on the other side of the world in Haiti, the call for us is to see the family that's right here in front of our own eyes. The Olympics have shown us what we're capable of doing. We are one of the wealthiest countries in the world. We are one of the most livable cities in the world. We have the resources when we need them. If an earthquake hit this city in the next few weeks, heaven forbid, we would find the money to address that issue. Together in this country and in the city with a national housing strategy and with an on-the-ground vehicle to make it happen, we can end homelessness, and we can end it now.
We want to help everyone out here. We need all the support we can get. And I'm angry, I'm very angry at these people that organized the Olympics to come to Canada. Our beautiful country, our stolen land, our stolen native land. They had to bring the Olympics here, and we're still fighting for our land. And we're going to continue to fight until we get some answers.
We're here to say that we demand that there be a national housing program. And when we had such a program, people were not homeless on the street. They were not destitute. They didn't have to rely on shelters that were forever worried about not having the funds that they'd be closing down. And so we want to say to the Conservative government that the provision of safe, affordable, appropriate housing for all people is a right in this country, as was noted by the UN rapporteur. And you can see his quote right on the red tent for all to see. But we do have a bill in Ottawa, Bill C-304, that calls for a national housing strategy and program. And it's already passed second reading, and it's already been at the committee. And even though Harper shut down Parliament and is trying to keep us out of there, when we go back, that bill will still be there. And I want to tell you, we are going to fight tooth and nail to get that bill through. We're not going to let it go. Housing is a human right and must be addressed. And that's why we're here today.